Watching Princess Leonor step out at that recent Pascua Militar ceremony in early 2026, standing there in uniform next to her parents, beaming with that mix of pride and quiet exhaustion after another stretch of intense military training, it hit me. She's only 20, but the clock feels like it's ticking louder than ever for her. Not because she's rushing anything herself, far from it, but because the whispers are getting louder. Is the Spanish royal machine already nudging her toward marriage before she hits? I mean, think about it. She's wrapping up this rigorous 3-year military program, Army, Navy, Air Force, even becoming the first in the family to qualify as a paratrooper with night jumps. That's not just training, that's forging a future queen who can actually command respect in uniform. Yet here we are, with headlines and online chatter speculating about suitors, from footballers like Gavi to random European princes. And honestly, it feels premature, but I get why it's happening now. Let me pull you in on this. If you're new to Leonor's story, subscribe, I post every day. We're diving deep today because this isn't just tabloid fluff, it's about what it really costs a young woman like her to carry a 500-year-old institution on her shoulders while trying to live something close to a normal life. Pause for a second. Have you noticed how the palace timing always seems strategic? Right as she's hitting these milestones, solo flights, paratrooper badge, public engagements in places like Gran Canaria or Turur, the marriage speculation ramps up. Why now? My hot take, it's not random. The Spanish royals have been rebuilding their image after some rocky years with the previous generation. Leonor represents the fresh start, poised, disciplined, Gen Z but with that old school duty drilled in. But a single heir, especially a female one in a country that hasn't had a reigning queen in 150+ years, comes with baggage. Stability sells. A partner could signal, dynasty secured, calm any Republican murmurs, and give the public something romantic to root for. But here's where I push back on the media narrative. This pressure narrative, that she's under the gun before 25, feels like a distraction from the real story. Leonor's out here doing night jumps and political science prep. She's not scrolling dating apps. The hidden cost. Every rumor chips away at her ability to just figure herself out. At 20, most of us are messing up college relationships or traveling solo. She's got constitutional rules hanging over any potential match. The partner has to be Catholic, I believe, and the marriage needs parliamentary approval or something along those lines to keep the line of succession clean. That's not Tinder, that's a state negotiation. Compare her to what's happening with Kate Middleton and the British side right now. Kate's been navigating her own pressures, health stuff, family reconciliation talks with Harry, while keeping that perfect public face. William and Kate's marriage was presented as this modern fairy tale that stabilized the firm. People love the normal, university romance story. But Leonor, she's got even less room for error. No messy breakup headlines allowed. If she picks wrong, or waits too long, critics will say she's prioritizing career over crown. Wait, but isn't preparing to rule her actual job. I keep coming back to that public proposal stunt last year during her Asturias tour. Some actor in a play drops to one knee in front of the whole family and villagers. It was played for laughs, but man, the symbolism. King Felipe and Queen Letizia right there, smiling through it. Letizia knows this world better than most, she was a commoner who married in. She's probably whispering real talk to Leonor about balancing identity and duty. You can see it in how protective they are. Leonor and her sister Sophia still get those sweet family moments, like at Bad Bunny concerts or awards ceremonies, but the spotlight is unrelenting. Hot take time. The palace media machine loves feeding us these, will she or won't she, stories because it humanizes her without risking real vulnerability. It's safer than digging into whether Spain is truly ready for a queen regnant in the social media age, or how her military service is prepping her for commander-in-chief roles. Why tell us about potential husbands now? Because it shifts focus from her agency to her availability. And the hidden cost is burnout. She's crushing it, presiding over awards, foreign trips, paratrooper quals, but at what point does the perfect princess expectation crack? Let me ask you this, if you were in her shoes, would you rush into marriage before 25 just to tick a box? Or would you want time to become the leader first? I lean hard toward the latter. Look at other young royals. Catharina Amalia in the Netherlands is studying, keeping a low profile on romance. The Danish ones too. Leonor's path feels more accelerated because Spain's monarchy has had more public scrutiny lately. Her grandfather's abdication, the scandals, Philippe's generation cleaned house, but Leonor inherits the pressure to be flawless. Diving deeper into her training, finishing up at the General Air and Space Academy, that naval voyage earlier, the parachuting milestone. These aren't photo ops. She's logging hours that her father and grandfather did, earning stripes the hard way. I love that about her. It screams competence over celebrity. But the marriage talk, it reduces her to princess bride potential. That's the part that frustrates me as someone following these families. She's not a plot device in a Netflix series, she's training to lead. Think about the Leonormania that kicked off around her 18th birthday oath. The standing ovation in Parliament. Now at 20, she's got that same poise but with real miles on the clock. Rumors linking her to athletes or aristocrats pop up and die fast because nothing's confirmed. And good, let her breathe. My personal analysis, the real power move would be her choosing someone who gets the public service grind, maybe not even royal blood. Someone steady who can handle being consort without ego. But the Constitution and optics will make that a minefield. Here's a bridge to the bigger picture. With all the Harry and William drama still simmering, Kate pushing for family dinners amid UK visits, monarchies worldwide are under the microscope. Public forgiveness has limits. One wrong marriage or delayed personal life, and suddenly it's out of touch. Leonor seems aware. Her style is polished but approachable, H&M dresses mixed with duty. Queen Letitia's influence shows there. What have I learned watching this unfold? These young heirs are walking a tighter rope than we admit. The military phase is brilliant for credibility, but it delays normal milestones like serious relationships. By 25, if she's still single and thriving, will the narrative flip to independent queen or problematic holdout? I bet on the positive because she's earning respect the old-fashioned way. But the pressure is real, even if unspoken. Zooming out, Spain gets a queen who flies planes, jumps from them, and connects with Gen Z crowds. That's huge. The marriage question shouldn't overshadow that. If anything, it reveals our obsession with royal romance as escapism. We project our own timeline pressures onto her, settle down, produce heirs, stabilize everything, while she's barely out of her teens. Rhetorical aside, doesn't it make you wonder what Leonor herself thinks in those quiet moments after a long day of training? Does she scroll comments joking about Gavi or princes and just laugh it off? Or does it add weight? I hope her parents are giving her space to choose timing that feels right, not dictated by some arbitrary pre-25 deadline. As we wrap this deep dive, my verdict is this: the pressure to marry story is half true, expectations exist, but mostly it's media filling space around her genuine accomplishments. Leonor's building a foundation first, and that's smarter long-term. Rushing could backfire spectacularly. She's proving she's more than a fairy tale princess, she's the real deal in training. Whether a ring appears before 25 or years later, the focus should stay on her readiness to rule. That's the story worth following. The public loves a love story, sure, but they respect competence more. Leonor seems to get that. And if the palace is smart, they'll let her timeline unfold naturally. What do you think? Too much pressure too soon, or necessary for the monarchy's survival? Drop your thoughts below. This is the kind of evolving royal saga I'll keep unpacking daily. Ceremony clips, training footage, subtle family moments, and those viral rumor screenshots for rhythm. Keep the edits tight, quick cuts on rhetorical questions to hold attention. But let's not gloss over the constitutional side, because this is where it gets really fascinating and restrictive. Spain's rules around royal marriages aren't some dusty old parchment, they're baked into the 1978 Constitution. Any marriage by Leonor has to be approved by the Cortes Generales, the parliament. It's not just about love, it's about ensuring the union doesn't destabilize the throne or invite foreign influence that could complicate things. Imagine dating with a parliamentary veto hanging over your head. That's pressure. My contrarian view here: While the before 25 inches angle makes for clickable headlines, it's probably more about the media's obsession than any official ultimatum from Zarzuela Palace. Leonor turns 25 in 2030. That's still a solid window for her to finish university, political science at some Madrid institution after military training, and settle into full royal duties. Rushing her now would look desperate, and the Spanish royals have learned from past PR missteps. They play the long game. But yeah, the subtle signaling is there. Those perfectly timed family appearances, the emphasis on her maturity, it's building the narrative that she's ready for the next chapter, whatever that entails. Personal aside, and this is me just thinking out loud as someone who's followed these families for years, Queen Letizia must be such a crucial sounding board for Leonor. Letizia came from journalism, a divorced family background, and faced her own share of scrutiny when she married Felipe. She transformed the role of queen consort into something more modern, more intellectual. I bet private conversations between them are gold. Don't lose yourself in this. Contrast that with the British side, where Kate Middleton has been the steady anchor amid Harry and William's tensions. Kate's reportedly pushing for that family reconciliation during Harry's upcoming UK visit, trying to keep the peace for the kids and the institution. Different monarchies, similar undercurrents of duty above personal drama. Leonor has the advantage of parents who seem genuinely united. No public fractures like the Sussexes. That stability buys her time. Have you ever wondered why these rumor cycles spike around her milestones? After the parachuting qualification in June 2026, boom, more boyfriend speculation. After her Gran Canaria visit wrapping up training, same thing. It's almost predictable. My analysis, it's a soft power play. The palace doesn't comment, which lets the stories breathe and keep Leonor relevant without her having to say a word. But the downside, it objectifies her journey. She's not just the pretty princess looking for a prince. She's a cadet who earned her wings, literally. That paratrooper badge isn't fluff, it's history-making for the Bourbons. Let's compare strategies across Europe for a second. Princess Catharina Amalia of the Netherlands keeps her personal life extremely private while studying. She's faced threats and security issues, which forced some adjustments, but the focus stays on preparation. Leonor is doing something similar but with more public military visibility. It's bold. It positions her as capable in a way that transcends gender expectations. If she marries young, great, if it fits. If she waits, it could set a new precedent for future queens prioritizing leadership first. Either way, I respect it. The versus narrative people love, Leonor versus the traditional timeline, is what keeps me hooked on this story. Rhetorical question for you: what would a perfect consort even look like for her in 2026? Someone from Spanish high society to keep it domestic. An international royal for alliances. Or, my favorite hot take, a high-achieving civilian who understands public service, like a diplomat, academic, or even someone from the military world. The latter could humanize the monarchy beautifully, showing it's not just blue bloods anymore. But the optics have to be flawless. One tabloid scandal and the narrative flips from modern love to risk to the crown. That's the brutal reality these young royals live with. I remember when her 20th birthday hit late last year, family surprises, low-key celebrations amid the awards season. It felt like a breath of normalcy. Infanta Sofia by her side, the sisters still tight despite the air pressure gap. That's another layer. Sofia gets more privacy, but she watches her big sister carry the weight. How does that shape family dynamics? Does it make Leonor more cautious about bringing anyone new into the fold? Probably. Trust issues in the fishbowl are real. Diving into the why now deeper, 2026 has been a year of consolidation for the Spanish royals. Pope Leo XIV's visit, military ceremonies, regional trips. Leonor's presence is front and center, signaling continuity. Marriage chatter serves as a soft reminder that the dynasty plans ahead. The hidden cost. It can make her seem like a pawn in a bigger chess game rather than the player she clearly is becoming. I've disagreed with media spins before on this. Too much focus on romance distracts from her policy interests, her fluency in languages, her cultural engagements. She's the full package. Let's celebrate that first. Bridge to retention here. If the palace is reading the room correctly, and they usually do, they'll let her military to university transition happen without forcing personal timelines. Spain's monarchy approval ratings have stabilized thanks to Felipe and Letitia's approach. Leonor can build on that by being authentically herself. No need for a rushed fairy tale. The public, especially younger Spaniards, responds to competence and relatability more than outdated traditions. One more layer on the power figures comparison. While Kate Middleton navigates health recovery and family mediation with Harry's circle, Leonor operates in a tighter, more unified family unit. No Netflix deals or tell-alls on the horizon. That discipline gives her an edge in longevity. But it also means less personal outlet. The trade-off is immense. I wouldn't want her job at 20, but damn if she isn't handling it with more grace than most. As we push further into this conversation, what stands out most to me is her generation. Gen Z royals like Leonor are redefining the role, more transparent, more prepared, less tolerant of nonsense. The marriage pressure exists, sure, but I predict she'll rewrite the script on her terms. Maybe post-25, after university solidifies her intellectual chops. Or whenever she finds someone who adds to her mission rather than complicates it. The best outcome: a partnership that strengthens her without stealing her spotlight. I've shared my takes, my disagreements with the rushed narratives, and the questions that keep me coming back to this story. Royal watching isn't just gossip, it's watching institutions adapt or fade in real time. Leonor gives me hope for adaptation done right. Thanks for sticking through this deep dive. Your thoughts matter. Do you see real pressure mounting, or is it mostly noise? Comment below, and I'll see you in the next one where we unpack whatever breaks next in her world. Stay curious.